So we've been working on this for a couple of hours. I think we're live. I think we have good audio. Listen to me. If you happen to get tuned in, put in the comments. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know what it looks like. Out that when I'm doing live from the computer, and then with the computer static. Right? I wonder if it's any better now that that truck is going by. Still static. Okay. Yeah. See, I make sure all the connections are tight. Good. The audio should be going to that Bluetooth receiver and then into the computer. Is that better now? Can you hear? Okay. Not any better? Anything? I wonder, I don't, it maybe turn the volume down a little bit, but I don't know how to do that. It might be that splitter we're using too. It might be a little dirty.
It's not constant, it sounds a little better.
Try to wiggle the receiver where it goes into that splitter. Wiggle that plug.
People say they can hear you and it's better.
Okay, well, we'll keep working at it. So we've had to work through several issues. First one was the wire from the cable to the computer didn't send sound, it only sent video. So then we had to make the Bluetooth receiver connect to the computer. And the computer did not have a microphone jack in it. So I had to buy a USB to microphone jack adapter. Let's walk. And I did that. And it was kind of big. And then I couldn't plug in my camera cord. So then we had to get a splitter, a USB splitter, a hub where we can plug several things in. I actually found an old one in my bag. And that's probably the source of the static. Hopefully it clears up. I'll go buy another one when we get done just to see. That's actually pretty inexpensive. But hopefully when it's not staticky, hopefully you can hear me better. So I figure while we got something going, I'll ride something around and we'll talk. And if it works, great. If it don't, if we have any issues as we go along, I'll address them before Thursday. So I grabbed something out of the barn just to get on, just to have something to be on doing the live. This is Hank. This is the one that I've shown videos showing. And I really appreciate everybody tuning in today to help me work through this. I'm kind of a techie person, but this kind of stuff is all new to me. And I really appreciate y'all's patience. So I'm just walking around. I just got on him. I got on him after I started the live just to move him around. And we'll play with him a little bit. He's just one of the horses that needs to be ridden. So I thank everybody for tuning in and helping me work this out. So as I'm walking around, I walked a couple of circles, just kind of steered left, steered right. You've heard me say that my bend counter bend is my warm up. So I just kind of got his feet moving. Hank is a horse that I need to get his feet moving before I start asking a lot. If I ask a lot right from the standstill, he kind of stops and wants to back up and basically just kind of overdoes it, overthinks things. So then I got his feet moving a little bit. Let's ask for a little bit of a counter bend. Head to the outside, shoulder to the inside. A little bit of right rein, right leg. Back into my circle. Yeah. Feels tight. I got the little thing screwed down. Is it still staticky? I'm thinking that's it, because that USB splitter has been in my computer bag for no telling how long. Traveling around. I'd be surprised if the connections in it were not dirty. So I will, when we get done, we'll go pick up one of those. Now that we have an idea what to make it all work. So I'll do a little bit of counter bend this way. If anybody's got any questions, list them. We'll address comments and questions while we're here, and really appreciate everybody tuning in and sticking with me to work this out. So I'm just walking the circle, a little bit of left rein, a little bit of push with my left leg, just asking him to move his shoulders over. I always want to make sure I break the shoulders loose from the face. No matter what direction the face is pointed, I can steer the shoulders. I know some trainers don't do as much counter bending as I do. That just depends on what fits with your program. Let's go ahead and ask him to step around in the right spin. I see he's wanting to keep his nose to the left a little bit. Let's step around in the right spin. Let's see what we get. So I was trying to address his face right there. I didn't want to talk while I was ticking. Otherwise, he would have left or stopped or something. So I want to get his face a little bit more to the right. We have had with him, we've noticed when his head kind of gets not wanting to point right, that we've got the chiropractor to adjust him. It might be that we just need to flex him. We do some flexing stuff and kind of get him to crack his neck. That's probably what's going on there. I'm not going to do anything too serious about it. That was better. You see when his nose went to the right, his steps better. Let's ask him to flex to the right a little bit. So that same counter bend exercise that I do, that everything starts from, this is one of the things it builds to. It also builds to as a preparatory for canter departures, slope departures, lead changes, everything else. I step around to the right again. And walk out. It's getting a lot better. As it's getting loosened up, it's getting better. Still got to have a little bit of right rein contact. So the next show I'm going to be taking him to is a National Rein Cow Horse Association show in West Monroe, Louisiana in August. I have enough points, I believe, to qualify for the World Show. I just need to show to my 3 judges. And then our plan is to show him at the, what they call it, Tournament of Champions, Circuit of Champions, something, in Fort Worth next February. Get his face right, get his feet right. Now let's step back into it again. I know he's not stepping right, but I want to address his face. He's not stepping right because he's resistant in his face. Squeeze him up. Squeeze him up. And let's walk out. So I know he wasn't stepping right. He started out with his nose out. Got to get his nose soft, get his nose soft, and then he'll quit stepping behind. He's stepping behind because he's stiff. And when he gets stiff, that's why he steps behind. All right, what questions we got?
My horse will start to brace with walking once past the work like trotting or loping for a little while. Then I will ask
Okay, the horse is bracing after a transition or a stop. There, that was better. That's actually a really common mistake. What's happening is your horse is transitioning down and falling onto his front end, getting heavy from the front, and that's why it's kind of bracy. All the weight's on the front end. So what you need to do is, I'll come up to a trot. Ask your horse to trot. You can do this at any gait transition. Transition and leg yield. Move the shoulders over after the leg yield. That will help your transitions get better. You can do that from like I'm doing here, trot to walk, extended trot to regular trot, lope to trot. It's all the same. What's happening, that the horse transitions down, gets heavy on his front end. There, and then leg yield. Leg yields and gets the weight back off of the front end, shifts the weight back on the back end. If your horse thinks that every time he transitions down, he has to move his front end laterally, that'll gradually get better and better. You need to work some other exercises to strengthen the back end at the same time. I usually like to do a lot of extended trotting, and a lot of extended trotting collected. That's really good for building the back end. So a lot of people will do slow trot like this collected, and when they extend a trot, they kind of get up like that. Instead, keep him collected and really extend your trot out as much as you can extend it while keeping him collected. And then transition down and leg yield. Good boy. So that'll help that problem. That's actually a really common problem. You got another question? Is it still staticky, or is it getting better or worse? Oh, good. We've been testing this for a while. Batteries could be getting weak by now. Good, good. Let's go play on this mound of dirt over here. So my dirt guy just delivered a dump truckload of dirt. I'm going to put it in those pins out there. Let's go play. Oop, a little deep. Let's do that again. And this kind of goes into the video I put out yesterday about Saber and challenging his mind. Always challenge their mind doing something. There we go. Good boy. Challenge him doing something. Let's go play on that mound of dirt. Go for a trail ride. Do something. I know, like when I trail ride, we don't spend much time walking down the trail. We're going to go off into the bushes. If I find a log laying on the side, we're going to go walk over the log. Just engage their brain. Let's try a couple of stop and backups. I've been working on his back. It's a maneuver score. I think we can get better. Let's get up here and ask for a stop. Whoa. So what I'd like, we're back a little bit crooked. I'm going to work on that. And I want him hustling back better on the stop. Stop was good. So let's get stopped. Whoa. Now we're going to ask him to back up. I like to really work on my backup separated from the stop, because if I connect the two together and I really ask him to back harder after stopping, my stop is going to suffer, because the act of stopping is a forward movement until you become stopped. So now let's ask for a backup. And release. Good boy. Let's turn around. Do it again. Whoa. Back up. And release. So a lot of reining trainers will say what up to encourage them to back up. There's nothing wrong with that. I just smooch. That's just how my cue's a little bit different. When I smooch, I want him to put more effort into backing up, just as if I would smooch to go forward faster. Whoa. So there's a couple of different ways I can pull there. Getting staticky, we're probably losing battery. Yeah. So a couple of different things there, a couple of different ways I can pull. And it's a good chance to talk about different pulls and how they work different. Whoa. So anytime you pull up, you're encouraging your horse to round. So if I pull up, he's going to make a liar out of me. I'm encouraging him to round. Get back straight again. Up should be round, like that. So anytime I need more round through the neck, through the body, I'm going to lift up. Now, right there, when I'm wanting him to hustle more, sometimes I'll just pull straight back to give him, set that wall. Remember, we've talked about the wall before, meaning don't go forward. Well, we'll pull that wall to him to make him hustle a little bit more. But if he loses frame, I'm going to lift up. So let's try that. Let's just pull back. See how he's kind of stiff on my face. Let's lift up. You see how he steps different in the front end for the two different pulls? Let's do that again. He also backed crooked, which means I need to move the shoulder over. Whoa. Yeah, that one was better. It's getting better as we practice. I'm going to bring his shoulder that way since his butt went to the left. And we're going to back again. So he got stiff on that shoulder. Round, round, round. That left shoulder's poking out. And release. That left shoulder going out. That's why he was getting crooked. Good boy. Bring the shoulders around. Whoa. Any more questions, you know? Okay, so given he doesn't have any medical conditions. Oh, okay, yeah. So my horse stumbles at a trot. How can I help that? So given he doesn't have any medical conditions, horse that's stumbling in a trot is really similar to the horse that's stumbling transitioning. So that means your horse is heavy on its front end and resistant in its face. I did a video not too long ago. I might not even have it out yet. The horse stumbles a couple times in the video. And if you watch the video, he's stumbling at the same time he's pushing on the face. A horse pushes with the foot to get the leverage to push with the face. So when a horse is stumbling, he's not free in the front because he's stiff trying to push. And this is one of the reasons why I never flex standing still. So I will never stop a horse. Whoa. And from here, ask him to flex standing still, because that puts him on his front end. So what I will do is I will go forward, use right rein, right leg, and flex this way. What this does, that lifts that shoulder and gets that shoulder stepping better and softens the face. That's what's going on with your horse, most likely. Just guessing. That's the most common reason. He's stumbling because he's not moving free. So you need to soften his shoulder, soften his face, and you need to see if you can. Let's try this. Walk, trot, walk, and I'll keep that same softness with the head to the side. Now, when he transitioned down, he pulled on my hand a little bit. That's him falling on his front end a little bit. That needs to be as good as you can make it. Now let's walk. He was better on that side. So all that comes into being heavy on the front end. Every bit of that. So with your horse and the last question. So if you work on getting your horse up, his shoulder soft, round, that fixes both those problems. Any more questions? Nope.
No, someone first rule of thumb, horses will always make a liar out of them.
Yep, you're right. It's like they know what you want. Horses will make a liar out of you. And that's doing these lives. I don't ever know what I'm gonna get. We're just gonna get and see. So let's lope a couple of circles. While I'm on, we'll just record and I'll talk about what I'm doing until I get ready to quit with him. So I loped off, he got a little strong. I'm gonna lope a couple circles. Now watch my hand when I'm loping circles. I'm lifting. Same thing that addressed those two questions that I got. Same thing. Remember when he was at one spin, he was pushing his face out. That's the most common issue a horse can have. He's a little stiff on that right rein. I'm gonna soften him up. Soften him up. Overbend him to the right. Overbend him to the right. Remember when I was spinning, this was the direction you wanted to have his head to the left. He's probably, when I get done, we'll flex him and see if I get a crack in the pole. Get soft. I'm never gonna hold my horses in a frame. I'm gonna ask for something and then I'll give it to him. Ask him to get soft. I can feel he still wants to fall in. He's getting softer though. So I'll come through the middle, showing reining, and this is something you can think about if you show anything where circles are involved, where you're going to go from circle to anything different. So in reining, right here, I would steer into my small. So what I'm going to do, I want to make sure I get a good steer into my small. So I'm actually going to steer more than what my pattern would show. So let's say if you got a ranch riding pattern, dressage pattern, whatever, where you go into a circle from a straight line, practice getting more than what you're going to want to get when you're actually showing. Got his head, make my small smaller than it would be when I'm showing. Oop, let's go back. Get your head over here. He's kind of rushing right there. Put my head down or hand down. Get him framed up. Framed up. Next time I'm gonna come through the middle. I'm gonna come through the circle, change leads, and go the other way. Through the circle, change leads, get round. I don't want to steer that way. You kind of drop the shoulder when you change leads. I don't want to steer that way until I get the shoulder up. That'd have been a good situation to go into canter. Let's do that this time. I'm gonna come around. I'm gonna canter to the right. I'm gonna stay at the left lead. I'm gonna lower right circle. It's gonna help get this shoulder up. It's just what I would be doing if I was training today. You just watch it. So I'm gonna go right leg back. Canter. Hold him in the left lead with my right leg. Get his head really bent to the left. I got a little bit of left leg by the girth. Getting his shoulder over. Now we're going to go through the center and go back into my left circle. Put my hand down. Staying in my circle a little bit. Now he's falling. Help him. I'm going to go in another canter circle. Right leg back. Left hand. Left leg by the girth. Shoulder around. I'm basically making this circle by pushing his left shoulder to the right with my left leg and my left hand. Now let's go back in my left circle. Let's see if he holds himself up now. Already falling. Let's help him. I'm helping him with the same cues that I held him in the canter with. Let's do one circle and then I'll do it again. A little slip there. No big deal. Right here when I lift my hand, I'm lifting my left rein. Left leg by the girth. Same thing I'm going to use over there in my canter. Left leg back. Left hand. Left leg by the girth. Let's do one more. This is really good for strengthening. It would be the left shoulder here. Back into my circle. Soften my release. Help him a little bit. A little better. I'll go into a small, then I'll stop. Whoa. Let him catch his breath a little bit. Any questions about any of that? Does the sound still okay? Okay, what are the benefits of working canter? Exactly what I just did, strengthen the shoulder. You don't want to work canter until your horse knows leads. I like a horse actually knowing lead changes, but I don't necessarily wait. So I'm working that canter to strengthen the left shoulder for my left circle. So in my left circle, this shoulder is wanting to fall. So working the canter picks that shoulder up, strengthens the shoulder. It also helps to kind of refine that cue right there to stand the shoulder up. So canter is a very important part of training in a more advanced horse. I don't usually do it with a really green horse. That's why you don't see me do it in most of the videos. If you get a horse too comfortable cantering before he really knows his leads and has an idea of body control, you end up with a lot of problems, because you saw the frame I had to put him in when I was cantering. If the horse can't get in that frame, just going to fuss and be grouchy about cantering. Whoa. Any other questions? Okay. We'll let him catch his air just a little bit. Then I'm going to work the same thing the right lead. Which horse am I riding? This is Hank. This is Hank. This is the one that you've seen me show. I still ride him. I don't ride him every day. I probably ride him maybe 3 days a week. And then it's not normally hard riding. It's just this kind of stuff, being correct. He knows his maneuvers. He knows how to work a cow. I need some practice working the cow. He knows his job. He knows the spins. He knows the stops. We just have to practice correctness. And that's usually what we're doing. Right now, we don't have another show until August. So I'm not trying to keep him peaked fitness wise. I'll wait till probably, I'm not going to let his fitness go way down, but I'm not going to try to keep him like peak show ready all the way till August either. So we probably, you've seen me work some 100% days. We probably won't have another 100% day until probably beginning of July. Everything's going to be mostly 50% days. All right, so since we show reining with the reining pattern working cow horse, normally you walk out of your box, look your direction, and lope off. I don't ever lope off right out of my box when I'm practicing because I want the horse thinking he's not going to lope till he gets to that cone over there. So we're going to walk out of the box. Nothing happens in this box except resting. Really important. You don't want to school your spin there. You don't want to school your stop there. All you want to happen in the box is rest. Any place in your pattern where it calls for a stop, maybe like reining, it's usually in the middle. Dressage, it might be X, just whatever. That's where I'm going to rest my horse while we're practicing. I'm going to want that horse to want to go there. I'm going to want the horse that when he goes there, he knows that we're resting. So let's slide my left leg back and lope off. Round him up. That wasn't a very good lope departure. He didn't wait for me to smooch, so we're going to do it again. As soon as I put my leg back, he loped off. See him anticipating now. Slide my leg back, and if he goes faster, I'm just pull him down and keep my leg there. Like that. Wait for me. Do it again. Left leg back. Wait for me. There we go. See the hip yielding over? That's what I want. If the hip yielding over is step one, when I get the hip in the right position, then when I ask for the lope, we'll have the correct lead. But if he's loping off as soon as my leg goes on without the hip coming over, we don't know what lead we're going to get. I got the hip over. That was a better lope departure. This is the direction he was wanting to tilt his head to the left. When I get done, I'll got a little exercise over flexing back and forth in the barn, not riding. His shoulder is actually better this direction, but just this pole is not. We're not going to rush. So right there, he rushed. So what I'm going to do, this time I'm going to pull him to stop next time he rushes. Just gently pull him down, probably to a walk. And walk. Thinking go faster, so I'll say go slower. Just that simple. But the key is recognize when it's happening, when it's that small, and then you're able to fix it before it's a really big problem. Now let's lope off again. Good. That was better. Now let's see if he rushes through the middle. Go in small, slow. Rush a little bit. We'll go around and I will pull him down next time if he does it again. Anytime a horse has been shown a lot like he has, they start to know about how many circles they're going to do one way, how many circles they're going to do another way. So you have to kind of keep them guessing. That's a pretty good slip. Dirt was shallow there. Let's see what he does here. I'm going to keep my hand down. Actually wasn't too bad, but let's just reinforce the right behavior. And let's just stop and stand here. Any questions before we quit? Okay, so I think I'm going to walk him and I'll cool him down and we're going to quit on that. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. And I know I was late getting started, helping me work through all these technical issues. and really appreciate you sticking with me. We'll plan on doing the regular live on Thursday, and hopefully it all works out and I can get started on time. So this is Hank. I'll put a link up here on YouTube to his other videos on YouTube, to his playlist. Until next time, thank you for watching.